Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, ZSHPlays here. In today's video what we're doing is taking a suggestion from the last premiere that I did. So I was having quite a good chat between Sparrow and WowWePlays. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm taking WowWePlays' suggestion and expanding on the zoo a little bit. So before we get to that part, I just want to show you a little bit here which I've made. So it's nothing massive, but this is just a tiny little area just for kids to play and stuff. And then we've got a couple of food vans as well. This bouncy castle is actually made by me. Don't ask me how I managed to do this, but I was really bored one night and pretty much went in and I just used the art pieces just to kind of make that. It is completely recolorable, so you can kind of do it to whatever you want. Obviously I'm just going to pop it back to what it was, but I will upload this onto the Steam Workshop if anybody wants to use that. It's just a typical kind of bouncy castle. Obviously I'm not an expert in bouncy castles, so I tried to just like replicate it as best as possible. There's a little bits which I couldn't kind of get to look as realistic as I want, but I think it's quite effective from that kind of angle. So I just kind of had this just as like a little bit where they can come so they can have a play around if they want to. Obviously the parents can kind of come and sit down here and stuff and then just watch over them. Obviously the food vans here, we just added milkshake, one of the gulpies and one of the coffee ones. So I think it's quite common to kind of see these I know certainly when I've been around Halloween time to pumpkin patches and stuff and like pumpkin picking, they usually have a little van like this with coffee and they have like one for donuts and stuff. So yeah, pretty much. What we're going to do as well is we are going to get Bertie the Highland cow a friend. So I'm going to keep refreshing the market because I did just check before I hit record. And we've only got these ones at the minute, so we need a female, but I want to get the black morph because I think that one looks pretty cool. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that. I'll just keep refreshing it throughout the video. If I do forget, then I'll definitely get around to doing it in the next one. So I've added a few little bits to the zoo. I've just added a little penguin, just a little bit of foreshadowing for the future. And I'm probably going to add an animal which could potentially get popular. Kind of see how we go. So what we're doing here is we're actually building a little kind of research centre for both species of the giant tortoise. So we're going to have the Galapagos ones here and the Aldabra ones here. So it's going to be like a little walkthrough area. This is going to be low and then this is going to be kind of like housing for them. This is going to be where the guests can come in. I'm going to add like glass here and then obviously close this off just so they can see to the outdoor bit. But I want it to feel quite natural, so I'm going to actually barrier it off with rocks, which I think would be quite cool because obviously they can't get over rocks. So I think if we do just like a little bit of rockery and then maybe some wiring on the inside. So initially I'm thinking using the aquatic rocks just to kind of separate this bit. I just kind of want it so you're kind of walking. We'll just use the Angry Archer as blueprint. There he is. So we're just going to pop him on the side there like that. And then I'm just going to hop in and grab some of the aquatic rocks. So console players, you will have these rocks very, very shortly if you do purchase the next pack. The next bundle, sorry. So it's the Twilight, I believe, and the aquatic. So personally, I really, really enjoy the aquatic rocks. I think they're really, really good. So what I was thinking is just going to pop that one into place there because I think that fits quite nicely. I've got random rotation on, so I was thinking of just something just kind of like this. The idea in my head works on paper, but I'm not sure if it works how I'm kind of wanting it to. Obviously these guys are going to have quite a big enclosure, so I'm going to try and make it work as best as possible. Obviously like you can see here, the rocks are quite low, and then I'm going to put wiring in between. That's going to be the same on both sides. So if we go to obviously the corner ones, I want them to kind of slot in nicely. And then here the wiring's going to go to possibly there like that. So I had in my head, I was having a look at the fences because there's a couple of different fencing pieces I could potentially use. So I could potentially use something like this. but let's just have a look through and see what we can find. So I'm thinking, if I just kind of make the wiring just so it's kind of set up ready to go. So what I'm thinking is just doing, oh, let me turn that random rotation off because we do not need that. Okay, and then Control X on the keyboard just to advance, move and duplicate. What I'll do is I will just make various different kind of lengths of this. But I'm thinking if I kind of go to potentially there, and then what I can do is I can just select them all. Hopefully without selecting the rock, there we go. And then I can just literally pull them up like that. Just like that. And then just something like that. And then what I can do here is I can just select all them, add them to a group, and then I can either pull them up or pull them down depending which way we want to go. So that's kind of how I was thinking, something like this, just so that obviously you can kind of stand here and they'll literally be, just trying to get to kind of guess height. I'm thinking probably something like that. So let me just move this rock back just slightly, just so it fits like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use the Advanced Move Duplicate tool. And then I think this might be where it just gets a little bit tricky. So obviously I can't make it... no, ignore that. I'm going to come back to this bit because I'm going to do them in single bits. So I think that would look a little bit better. So if I can do single bits, I can kind of follow this and curve it around a little bit. Whereas obviously these bits, it doesn't really matter too much because it's just like a straight kind of edge. So if I just go all the way through, and I can kind of just join that there like that, and then pretty much straight through again. And then maybe here, what I can do is I can just kind of make that as close to the edge as possible. But I might just push that bit back, so I might put some little rocks here or something. Okay, so I'm just going to try that while I'm thinking about it. So I'm just going to use this bit. We shouldn't get any Z fighting, to be fair. I think it should be okay. Don't know how I feel about that. So let me just going to alter that. Okay, so there's a couple I must have selected that quite a few times. There we go. I kind of want it to be a little bit more fluid, I think. Probably something like that. And then what I can do to fit these in is I could just potentially do that again because it wasn't selecting. So I could just advance move duplicate these. It's not playing ball, but I can just move them in like that. And that should be fine. And then I'm not going to use that one, I'm going to use this one. But I'm going to duplicate, so I think if I put it in manually, it might just be a little bit easier. So I'm thinking potentially there like that. So far we've just got this kind of little perimeter all the way around. So let me just duplicate that again. So what I can do here is I can just do something like this. So I want to make sure it's the same kind of height all the way around. So I can do that, and then I can literally just kind of go to there. And then the same again for here, so I can literally just kind of close it off about there, I'm thinking. So I'm thinking something like that. So I want to have just some like plants and rockery here. I think that would be quite cool. And then obviously we're going to have the glass here, and I'm probably going to have like a cover in this area, but I want them to be able to access all the way around. So I'm just going to hop into this group because I need to grab roughly about that many, I think. So if we're going to go to potentially there, and let's just get the edge, and then if we're going to loop it around, should hopefully be able to just kind of loop this all the way around. And then we should just be able to get that in as close as possible. I am going to move that just to make it a little bit tighter actually, just so it fits in nicely. And then same again, all the way in, just like that. So this probably needs a support, just for kind of realism purposes. I might just use a smaller aquatic rock actually, just to give it that, oh Jesus Christ, not that. Probably something like this, to be quite honest. So if I just do black, and I think I selected that one, that's the one. So if I just kind of align it like that, I think. And then I can just do something like that around here. And I think that's quite effective. So then obviously we've got these kind of long ones, but they're obviously kind of supported and should be okay. So let's just select this piece. And then same again, just going to duplicate. So just going to kind of see if we can freehand this. I don't trust myself. It was accurate to some extent. Okay. We just need to move that one back just slightly to there. And then what I can do is I can literally just use this one just to kind of match it up to about there, I think. Okay, so this is going to be one side, whichever tortoise I decide to put in here. So I'm going to do one side first, and then pretty much I'll just cut to the next, because it's going to be pretty much an exact copy, but it's probably only going to come down to here. Obviously once I've done one side, I'll kind of cut the recording just so we're at the next side, but I'll complete all the building and stuff first. It makes sense to do it that way. So let's just hop back into this building. So I'm thinking of using wood again. So similar to this, I want to kind of keep to this theme with this kind of roof. Obviously I know we're not going to be using exactly the same, but we did use the Australian wood pieces. So these won't be out for console players just yet, but hang fire and they will be with you very shortly. So if I'm just going to do them like that, and then pretty much same again here. So that's going to be glass, sorry. So I've just got to remember what the plan is that I had for this. So I need to make sure that I've got these like that. So these are going to be like the main walls, internal and external, and then we're going to have kind of like sections like this. Because for this bit to kind of keep the heating, I'm going to add one of the PVC bits, and then I'm just going to add like a slight little ledge on the side here just so they can't get out. And then from here I can also add them that way as well, because this is going to be a window. And then it's just a case of pretty much duplicating all these around. So just like that. I'm going to leave this bit open because it's going to be open all the way through. So I'm thinking for the outer bits, I'm thinking of doing the iron, because I think I quite like using this, so it's it just ends up coming back all the time. So just gonna use these pieces. So this is just for their kind of indoor shelter area. So annoyingly we don't have a 3 meter piece, so you just have to kind of make your own little 3 meter. And then the same again here. I'm just going to kind of segregate them off. Obviously in real life as well, they could kind of have this, so they could split it into 2 and have 2 different groups to make it more of like a breeding facility as such. And then I think I'm going to use the iron roof just to cover these bits. Because I'm thinking when you're inside here, I'm thinking that's going to look quite good looking up, just so they've got a little bit of shade as well. Obviously they need something to support this, so I'm going to grab something just to do that. I'm just going to use one of the wooden beams It doesn't really matter which one I use, just as long as I've got one of them. I'll probably use one of the stained ones, to be quite honest, because I can recolour that to kind of any colour that I want. So let's have a look and see what we've got. So we could use the timber ones because they're quite thick, and we could recolour them to something like that. I think that sticks kind of with the theme as well, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm just going to try that again because I didn't have the angle snap on. So I'm just going to lock it into place. And then from there, so that will create a, I don't want to say perfect 90 degrees, but it will do because it's just going in as support, so it doesn't need to be 100%. Obviously, if this was real life, the building could potentially fall down, but we won't tell the health and safety people. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and get this to the halfway point as best as possible. So I'm just going to use that little marker there, and I think about there will be okay. And then what I might also do as well is I might just pop a little beam. Let me just see what it looks like from the outside. No, if I had too many beams, it'll probably look a little bit silly, so I'm not going to do that. And then what I might actually be able to do is I might be able to duplicate all of these around. So use them like that. And then there we go. Work smarter. Well, the only one that I forgot to copy was that one here, which is going to just align up to this beam underneath. So there's a slight little gap on each side. That's fine. So that's pretty much what I want to do. I don't know whether to put glass on here or actually leave it open, because I feel like if it rains, it's probably gonna... It might actually go inside. So maybe if I use just like a half one, because I think the tortoises get quite stressed, I think. So I'm thinking if I just probably use like a one-way glass, probably halfway, just so there's a bit of airflow coming through. So I'm just going to use the 4 meter piece just to see. So let me just kind of get that into position. I mean, to be fair, I could just use the full 4 meter piece on this bit. Let's just see what it looks like. So if I pop that to there like that. Okay, and then what I can also do is I can just select both and just hit X on the keyboard and just see what it looks like if it's half the length. I mean, I quite like that, to be quite honest. Let me just pop the angry otter in and just see what the... Yeah, so that will pretty much block out the guests. So I think that would work quite well, actually, to be fair. But then obviously the only problem we've got here is if they're outside of this area, they might get stressed. But it should be fine. I'm going to make that decision and say they should be okay. So what I'm going to do here, I just need to check what I used on the roof here, because I think I used the plaster pieces. Yes, I did, that's fine. So it'll be same again. Just going to use the plaster pieces. What I'll probably do is use probably let me just try and think. I might use 2 plaster pieces. I'm going to use this as windows, and then more plaster pieces. Yeah, that's fine. Right, let's crack on. So let's get into that. So let me just grab the plaster pieces. What I might do as well, just to make it look better. So this is just a little trick that I picked up off FewCandy off her video from yesterday. So she used this and then actually put the roofing that she wanted on top, and it looked really, really cool. Just because it gives like a nice little effect that there's some kind of stable roofing as well. Because obviously if you're on the inside, it looks just a little bit plain. So yes, I'm going to use FewCandy's video yesterday for inspiration. Definitely check that one out because it's a really, really good video. Also check the series as well, because it's quite an enjoyable series. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. So just gonna stick to the same plaster pieces that we used. So I'm just gonna check for the height. So obviously I need to off center the. Let me just trial this because I don't want to get it wrong, and then it goes a little bit funny. So if I go to there, I think. And then if I just align this bit up, so we shouldn't get too much that fighting because it's one solid colour, so I'm hoping it stays stays nice for me. So again, I'm just going to go over one, because as you can see here we went over one. So it's just kind of like, I want it to feel like these shacks were kind of here and then a modern building was kind of built on top of it. Kind of like when the zoo got more money, or the farm zoo, whatever we're calling it. Got like funding or something for a bigger project. No, I didn't overlap them ones, that's fine. I can overlap these bits if I wanted to. Let me just see what it looks like. That's pretty cool. I'm going to do that. Only by one though. Just like that. Okay, and then whilst I'm here, what I'm going to do, just to make my life easier, and I'm hoping this works as I picture it in my head, which I can't see any problems with, is I'm going to duplicate them, and I'm going to sync them just below. Actually, I can pull them to the side actually and just get them at the right size. There we go, just like that. And then I can pretty much just put them straight into place. So obviously remembering that I've got an overhang on each side like that. And then that is pretty much the same on each side. So let me just show you what I meant by going on the inside. So it just gives you these beams just to make it look like the roof is actually supported. So it's a really good trick that I learned from FewCandy. So I'm just going to grab some glass pieces as well. Just going to use the classic ones and recolour them like I normally do. So I'm just going to recolour them to black so they match the lemur enclosure. And then I may just sink them a little bit lower, I think, just like that. Okay, so I think, let me just put back in. So I need these two. So just Control X on the keyboard. So this bit could be a little bit fiddly. So I know initially I said about having this bit open, but I'm thinking because they do get stressed quite easily, I'm thinking of just having it enclosed off a little bit now, just so I don't have any issues with stress. Obviously I know we're in Sandbox mode, but just makes life easier, I think. So let me, I'm just going to go to the outside to do this because I think it's going to be easier rather than fiddling around inside. Okay, so I think that oh, damn. Let me just do that again. Just trying to check the ledge. So I need to come out just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so that is the indoor area and both of the... I'm going to put like sand or something under here, I think. Just to make it look... Put like a pretend little heat lamp here or something, and obviously they'll have little heat lamps inside as well. So whilst I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to add the sand in. So we're going to go probably to there, I think, just like that. And then I think around the edge, I'm just going to do it like that. So kind of like this bit's weathered a little bit, and then obviously the rest of it's just kind of inside, so it's completely fine. Obviously just using the coarse sand and the fine sand, I believe it's called. And then I think on the inside, I think I'm just going to use soil, because I can't really see them wanting to live on grass on the inside. So I'm going to add some bedding and stuff in here. I am going to add some quiet signs through here just so they don't get stressed from the noise. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for one side of it. Obviously I can add some small information bits here and just kind of sync the original bits down. But the only thing that I need to add through here now is the PVC strips, and then I just need to copy everything over onto the other side, and then that will be pretty much the tortoise has done, to be quite honest. So let me just get that into position. I didn't really want these metal strips showing, but I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid it. I think we're gonna struggle, but it'll be fine. I can just use some bark pieces or something just to make it look a little bit better. Okay, and that is pretty much just to kind of imitate that there's going to be high humidity and stuff. So let me just copy all these, make sure angle snap is on, and then I'm pretty much just gonna flip those around, and then hopefully they should just align really nicely like that. So we shouldn't have anything sticking out the sides. That should fit really nicely. Obviously both glass bits are really thin, so just like that. And then obviously terrain on this side, we're doing coarse sand in these areas, just like that. And then going to use the light soil, I think, just throughout here. I'm going to put some little rocks and stuff. Obviously I know they can't kind of climb rocks and stuff, but I'm going to add some rocks around the edges and just some like plantage and stuff. So what I need to do just on this side is just add these iron bits. So I am just going to actually, to make it easier, is that bit? Oh no, I don't know why from over here it looks like that bit's kind of sticking out, but I guess that'll be the plaster, which I can't avoid, unfortunately. So let me just fill all these bits in, just like that, and then it was just a case of pulling just the, oh, 1 second, that's fine, I can move that, and we can just pop that into position just like that. Okay, so I think just to do this bit, because it was a little bit fiddly before, I will just pop it into Speedbuild just for 2 or 3 minutes, just so I can get it around. Obviously I've already done kind of like a little tutorial on how I got this bit, so I will just hop into Speedbuild, and then I'll pop this same barrier just around the edge, and then we can focus on decorating the inside. So I'll catch you in a second. Okay, so that's all of the outside fencing done. So I think the best thing to do now is just grab some of the smaller faux rocks. So if I just type them in, so these are base game ones, so we should be able to, oh actually, do I have a bit of contrast and just kind of, no, I'm going to stick potentially with this kind of colour sequence. So I want random rotation on. So pretty much what we're going to do, pretty much what we've done quite a lot around the park, is just kind of sink a couple of these down. Obviously we've got smaller ones just to add little bits where needed. So it's quite repetitive this, but I quite enjoy doing it. Like I say, in Sandbox Mode it's nice to place a couple of rocks every now and then. So I want this kind of like, I think they call it like an alpine garden. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's called an alpine garden. Just where there's like loads of randomly placed rocks and just like loads of alpine plants kind of pulling through and stuff. What I do just want to do to make my life easier, and this is probably a little bit lazy, but if we've got the tools to use it, we may as well just use it. So just selecting all the ones that we've just popped down, literally just going to copy and paste them. So if I pop them in to there like that, might make them a little bit smaller. And then what I can do is I could, that's fine, I'll leave that like that. Then if I needed to, I could literally just to spruce it up a bit, just to make it look like it's not completely the same. So you kind of walk in, you've got these rocks on either side, so you can't step on these. Obviously you can step right up to here and see them walking pretty much wherever you want them. So let me just grab some of the plants, 2 seconds. Gonna filter down to Europe. So I'm thinking possibly the currants, just to kind of make them pop in and out in between. And then I might use a couple of these because I think these look pretty cool. And then I just kind of feather these underneath. I think that would be quite effective. And then just going to use little bits of the lady fern as well. I'm just going to take away the long grass in this area. And I'm going to replace it with soil. So just up to there like that. And then same again on this side, just so it's got a little bit of a background. So now that I've got these here, I can just pick from this and just use it kind of as like a palette. So if I just literally grab what I need, obviously the further back they are, the higher I want them, so I'm literally just going to pop a couple of these down. Obviously both sides aren't going to be identical, some are going to have more unique stuff than the other. Some's going to have higher flowers, some's going to have lower. And then I want the alpine currants, I think they're called, yep. Pretty much like that, and then I want these ones that I put around the edges. So let me see if I can grab them ones. I might have these a little bit higher up, just in this area. Maybe some there like that. Okay, I think. Oh, it's quite nicely, I think. Let me just see what we're like for space on the other side. Think on this bit. Don't think I'm going to do the same. It's annoying that we don't have just like a tiny little bit of path here. Because I would like to kind of extend that out, but I know obviously we can't do that. I might add potentially an information board there. Right, okay, so what I am going to do, just to disguise the barriers and stuff, I'm going to put the keeper gate inside of the rock, I think. So I'm thinking if I put a keeper gate there potentially, it just keeps it kind of out of sight. So I just want to test that in a second, but let me just get the barriers all the way around. So go to there. So this bit needs to snap onto the corner. And then same with this, so if I'd pop that over there. And then same again. And just make sure it's behind the wall. And then if I just pop that to there, that should... Yeah, that's fine, that snaps into place. So I'm thinking... Or I could... I think that works. If I put something like that. Maybe if I just use the metal one, instead of actually putting it inside the rock. I could... So I'm just trying to think. Let's advance move. Just kind of put it in like that, I think. And then you've just got like a little keypad here that you can pop into. Obviously anyone can hop over, but I need the keeper gate there pretty much. So I'm just going to filter on the habitats. I'm just going to filter it down to both species. So the Aldabra Giant Tortoise, and I also want the Galapagos one. Pronunciation's probably out the window with that, but it's fine. So I want some bedding bits in here, because this is going to be the main bit where they sleep. I've not decided on which side we're putting either of them. Let me just move that over. But I think either side's big enough. Obviously, they're pretty much exactly the same. This one's probably slightly bigger. So I might put... I don't know though, because this... No, they're probably about the same, to be quite honest, because this comes in more here. And then I'll be able to tell actually once I've finished the barrier which one is mathematically bigger, but at the minute I'm just kind of guessing. Maybe the one closest to the entrances is bigger. I might just use the curved. No, I'm not going to use the curve because it's not going to work how I want it. So just using the straight null barriers all the way around, just pretty much just literally going to the edge of the rock here, just so I don't have any notifications popping up saying such and such has escaped, or just something along them lines. I know it's probably not going to happen, but I'd rather just avoid it. Although in this game I do actually have escapes enabled, so we are completely fine if that was to ever happen. Just going to have to use the minus key just to get it to where I need it. And then here I can use plus just to get it pretty much where I need it. Oh, just hit down on the Q button, sorry. And then same again, using the minus key. Just making sure that's on the outside. And then just using the plus to about there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that to there. Right, so let's find the best bit where I can actually put habitat gate in. So I think if we do there, I can literally just hold down, oh, not that, on these two, and literally pull them back to there, I think. Okay, so I just want to check size in. So I said initially I thought this one was bigger. Right, so we've got 648, and I was wrong. So this one's actually bigger. I don't know how. because technically it's maybe actually. Oh well, but yeah, we'll put. I want to see which species is bigger first actually, because I don't actually know which one. I've only ever used the Aldabra, if that's how you say it. So I've only ever used this one. I don't know if you can see and hear the height and stuff. Yeah, you can. So the size is, we'll say 1 meter, just to be on the safe side. And then if we go down to G, I think I'm being blind because I cannot see them for the life of me. There we go. Yeah, so these are bigger. So these are going in the bigger enclosure. So just pop back to Zoopedia because I want to check. So 1 male, 3 females. So we'll stick to that ratio. We will just get the best male. We'll get that one. We'll get her. We'll avoid getting that one. We'll get that female because she's decent. Refresh again. And we'll get that female because she's also decent. Okay, so I'm just going to pop into the bigger one. I had a complete brain fog there and I can't remember if that was the bigger one or not. Yeah, that's the bigger one, that's fine. I think that's how you spell it. Right, Galapagos. That's fine. If it's wrong, it's wrong. So let's get them into the zoo. And then I'm also going to check the Zoopedia for the other giant tortoise. So 1 male, 3 females, same again. Oh, so we've got... Is that normal? Presume they're all... Are all the males darker? Yeah, I think all the males are darker actually. But I don't really want either of them to, so I'm hoping 2 minutes. We'll check back in 2 minutes. We'll wait for the Galapagos ones. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. I feel like it's one of them things that I've not heard for years, so if the pronunciation's bad then I do apologise. Which side's he coming through? He's coming through this side. I wonder if he'll run all the way through. Ooh, yes he will. Right, open the curtains. There we go, straight through. Nice little cut through. Okay, so they're all arriving at the same time, so that's good. Okay, so that works perfectly just how I wanted it. I think the enclosure itself might be a little bit too big, maybe. No, I think it'd be fine. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be completely fine. But these are really slow. I'm gonna take a guess and say this is female. Oh, no, it's male. Maybe it's one of them species where the male is a lot smaller than the female, kind of like praying mantises. So I know in the past used to keep praying mantises, I don't anymore, but my friend had an orchid mantis and I had a male one, she had female, and hers was massive and mine was literally like probably the size, literally proper tiny compared to it. But I think that's just how it works in the insect world. Has it been 2 minutes? Let me just check, see if we've got any more. 56 seconds. I don't really want to risk getting this one because I know it's... I wouldn't say it's decent because it's the same stats, but... I mean, we could take the risk and just get that one. Or I could just wait. We'll wait 40 seconds and just kind of see what happens. So whilst we're waiting for that, I am gonna just filter on the environment. I don't usually do this, but we're going to do it just so I know what I can put in and what I can't put in. So I'm thinking of just adding quite a lot of stones and stuff. Just something like that, I think. Just want to add quite a few little features. Obviously I know it can't be too crazy for them. I don't know what they're like with the grass, but all of this seems to be okay. So I might just use the light soil just to kind of make like not so much pacing lines, just more wear and tear around the actual enclosure as such, just to make it look like they're walking from place to place and stuff. So I think this is kind of what you would see, because with them being so low to the ground they probably drag along quite a bit. Obviously here I'm probably going to add bushes and stuff. I might just add something here just to make it look like the keeper's coming in and out quite a lot here. I'm going to add a bit around there. But I think other than that, I know it's saying it's too much, but it's fine. Just going to check. There we go. So the weight paid off, so we have a decent one now. So we're going to grab that one. Just going to take all of that. I do want to know why the males are darker than the females though. It's a little bit strange, but it is what it is. Obviously no one at the minute can actually see this area because it's blocked off to there, so nobody will be able to see, and obviously they won't be able to see from here either because we've got the dividing wall now. So let's just go back to the nature tab. I'm going to see what we've got in here which we can add. Just want to add a couple. I don't want to go too crazy, but I want to just add some foliage and stuff. So I'm thinking potentially like these kind of things. So maybe if we add something like that there. And what I like to do is I like to stack these. So I know it's probably not what you should do with these, but I just like to stack them because I think they look a lot nicer. So maybe that's a little bit too much. Probably just keep it like that. I think it'd be quite fun to have some tomato vines actually growing up the side here. Just make it look a little bit more fuller. I think that looks really, really effective. I like that. And I'm going to add that to all of these because I can kind of picture them kind of walking past and just kind of eating tomatoes off it. They might not like tomatoes, but we'll just imagine it for the game. I want just some little bushes. These are a little bit too big unless I really, really sink them down. But I might, yeah, I'm going to use them because that works quite nicely. And I'm going to add some bush around there. And I want to add some underneath as well, just like that. And then I think, obviously I don't want to add too many kind of exotic plants because it is still in Europe, so I don't want to kind of go crazy and add stuff that isn't typically going to grow here. Just drop them down just slightly. And I guess what I could do as well is I could just add loads of kind of like random bits just to give it a little bit of an effect. I could add some tropical leaf litter just around like these bits and stuff, just to make it look a little bit different. Thinking around the rocks as well, maybe just a couple of these alpine currants. Maybe just kind of feathering a couple of them around. Let me just see what enrichment items they need as well. So they don't need too many, which is good. So I might just add one of the dog balls. Obviously if we're duplicating stuff, it does tend to go a little bit funny. So I'm going to add a fruit spike there. And I might add fruit spike there as well. The food trough I'm going to add here, I think. Just so obviously everyone's got a view, and if you stood here you can see them. The herb scent markers, I like to add these just in the places where you would kind of hope they would at some point go to. Obviously this kind of attracts them down to this bit. I think with regards to water bowls, I'm going to use one of these, I think, and just add it into this bit. And as well with this, you can actually edit this. So I'm just going to make it look just a little bit more rustic looking. And the water pipe. Oh, that's just the bolts. That's fine. So yeah, I think like that, and then obviously they can kind of come around. Obviously you can go into here and see them if you need to. Let me just pause that, because I bet that, yeah, these ones are already in. I missed them arriving, so just want to see if we've got any lamps we can use. So I want to kind of create almost like a heat lamp or something. It's not something I've done before, so this is quite a bit of a learning curve. So maybe I could do thinking if I put something potentially there. I think something like that. That's too small. We've got any bowls or something? Let's see. Bowl. And stone bowl, that could work. I mean, it's not the best. It's not exactly what I wanted, but let me just see what it kind of looks like. The cord colour, let's put that as black. The fitting colour, we'll also pop that as black as well. I mean, it's not the best, but it will do for what I need it to do. Right, let me just lock that in. And then I can't remember what beam. So we had it quite far back. So 1, 2. So 1, 2. Yeah, so we had it on that one. And I think I'm also going to pop one around here as well. Just like that, I think. It should hopefully carry through. Might use just a bit of a more lighter red just to make it look more realistic. Okay, so I'm just going to use the advanced move, just like that. Okay, so it takes it off every time, I don't know why. That is a little bit weird. So I think pretty much for the tortoise house, I think that is pretty much it. I think to complete the other side, obviously it's going to be very similar, so I will just pop it into Speedbuild and I will just pop back at the end and we'll just do like a little run through of what we've got so far. So I will just pop in now and then I'll catch you guys in a second. Hi guys, okay, so that is pretty much it for the land of the tortoise, which I've made. What I wanted to do here is I just wanted to add a very small little sign. So let me just find a suitable sign. So I'm thinking potentially something like a little plaque or something. Potentially something like that. I don't know if you can actually type over these or not, but we will soon find out. No, I don't think it's these ones actually. These are more memorial ones, so I'm not going to use them. I need something a tiny little bit smaller. Too big. Let's do it with that one that I got first, so let me just go back to it. So I'm going to go with this one. And what I'm going to do here is for going forwards for this series, so anyone who does suggest an animal will sponsor it in the park. So because IUCN well, not sponsored it, but suggested this during the premiere, what I'm going to do is I am going to pop a little plaque in here just to say habitat sponsored by IUCN. Just like that. And then obviously I know it's not, because I'm all stood there watching the tortoises. It'll be open in a minute, guys, wait. Yeah, I can add some stuff around it, I guess. Maybe some like wooden bits just to make it look a little bit better. Because obviously at the moment it does look a little bit plain, so I just want to spice it up a little bit. So let's just find some bits of wood. I might use the conservation bits actually. So if I just pop them out. I mean, I could make it more of like a board which is actually inside as such. And I could just close it off just like that all the way around. Just like that, and then you've got your own little area. And I will just add benches on the inside. Just pop one. Oh, that's a staff member. It's alright. I thought that was a member of the public. I was like, how the hell have you got in? And then on both of these sides, I'm going to add benches just like that. Okay, and then as always, I will just add the finer details off camera, and I will just catch up on what we've done in the next episode. So if you have enjoyed this one, please feel free to drop a like down below. It does help out the channel. Drop a comment if you want to name any of these as well. I had some pretty cool suggestions in the last premiere, so obviously this won't be a premiere because I will be away at the point when this comes out. So drop comments down below for any name suggestions or what you would like to see next. And if I choose your comment, you will get a lovely little plaque like this. So yeah, feel free to subscribe as well if you're not already. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I hope you have a very good day, evening, wherever you are, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers guys, thank you, bye bye.